Disclaimer. Some of our content varies per video and may not be suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, in some content, we are critical of the video games, books, music, videos, and other creators on the platform. While we are a group-owned channel, our opinions expressed are solely on our own and may not always reflect the opinions of those associated with this channel. We at Novakast do not condone any and all harassment, i.g. cyberbullying, doxing, swatting, towards any of the people that we may be critical towards. How's it going, everybody? Rob here, back for another video, and I'm gonna be honest, we're doing another reaction, but I did not... Initially, I was kind of going back and forth whether I was actually going to do this. Plus, I will say that this is probably the first h3h3 video that I've ever reacted to. So, that's saying a lot. That's actually saying a lot. But considering it is, in a sense, similar to a other video that I reacted to recently, what the hell? Let's talk about it, or at least react to it. This is going to be the content nuke for HASAN PIKER. Now, one thing I want to say before we get started is I want to talk about a comment I got from my last video where I was reacting, more so giving my reaction to the June the King video where he did a documentary on HASAN PIKER, which, by the way, if I remember correctly, I mentioned that in terms of HASAN, I've heard about him, not anything good. And to an extent, you know, I was, well, I will say, ultimately, the biggest thing was the fact that he platformed terrorists. That was the big thing that I was concerned about, which ended up being true. But anyways, I got this comment, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Somebody wrote, "I think only Nazis and idiots hate the guy. Awkward on his podcast, but otherwise great in consistent politics and anti-racist activism." So, I'm trying to understand. First off, I'm just going to say it flat out. It just goes to show at this point when people just use buzzwords like Nazi, racist, etc., etc. Their IQ is so fucking low, especially when they don't actually give any substance to their argument. They think by using a buzzword they can just, shut the person up, which that's really not the case. If anything, it boldens people to be more confrontational, to speak their mind more thoroughly. So, to this individual, you know who you are. I don't think I ever acted in a racist way in that video. In fact, I think I've mentioned before that my wife's Jamaican, so where's the racism in that? So, whatever. Makes no sense. People continue using the word Nazi to try to denounce. Again, I at this point, I don't even think anybody knows what that word means in this day and age. You got a bunch of people, at this point, they just use the word, they hear it, they consider anything that, at this point, if you disagree, then you're a Nazi. Which, that's not the case. The Nazis were horrible, horrible fucking people. they were monsters. They were people that, if they had their way, they would have taken over the world. But anyway, heck, actually, if you think about it, why do you think the game Wolfenstein is so popular? Because to an extent, it shows us fighting Nazis and what would happen if the Nazis won. So, yeah. But, if anything, I would ask, though, this individual that posted this comment, why are you blindly following a guy that, again, and I think is the obvious question, promoting and making excuses for a terrorist? Actually, no. Sorry. Terrorists. That be the proper way of asking it. But anyways, we're going to get right into this. So let's go ahead and get started. This is Content Nuke of HASAN PIKER.
The world would not be the same.
Okay.
Few people laughed. Few people cried.
Okay.
Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita.
Isn't this, oh my gosh, this is the creator of the bomb. The atom bomb. Who created the atom bomb again? Oppenheimer. I have become... I just wanted to make sure, because I think it's a... Okay. Yeah. J. Robert Oppenheimer. He was the one that created the atom bomb, and he's the one that quotes the Hindu scripture.
Vishnu takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Good Lord.
Why am I held accountable? God forbid you throw up the fucking green Hamas.
Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from Twitch, Hassan. Happy birthday from Twitch.
I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't.
Oh, hi there. It's me, your old friend, Ethan Klein.
I've had some choice things to say about Ethan before, but I'm very curious about this video.
It's been a while since we've last spoken. In that time, I've had 3 kids, all boys. I've lost 100 pounds, and...
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I want to know what his. I know I'm pausing. I'm sorry. I'm kind of want to know what his diet is because, like, I think the last time I saw anything from Ethan Klein, I mean, yeah, he was puffed up. So I'm very curious to know what his diet is.
I've pissed off 75% of the internet. Probably a lot of you guys, too. Actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas. Someone should buy... Oh, yeah, and I got a tattoo also, so I'm cool like that now. Left or right, I always thought that, despite our differences, there was one thing we could all agree on. And what was that? That we love America and everything she stands for. Mom and Dad and apple pie. Sure, there's plenty to criticize and endless things to improve, but
yeah.
I thought it was about making a more perfect union, not tearing it down.
I would have to agree with that, though. I've noticed, at least for a lot of people, one of the big issues in the past, and I will say, like, as a person in social media, I can understand with, like, Ethan, especially with certain political groups, you know, trying to, I want to say, I'm not trying to accuse him of this, but to an extent, keeping up with the times with the political spectrum. to have some relevancy. I know that him and what was his name? There was a situation where him and Steven Crowder bumped heads for a few times, and then we had that infamous interview or debate, if you can even call it that. But anyway,
The thing is, there's something kind of scary brewing in America.
yeah,
Communism.
communism.
That's America. That's America to me.
I started a show a couple of years ago with my acquaintance, HASAN PIKER. You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying.
I'm still a little bit pissed about that. Considering the fact that, there a ton of people lost their fucking lives. He basically, by saying that, Hassan Piker is saying that those people in 9/11 deserve to fucking die. Yeah, no. I think I'll go back to saying what I said. If I didn't say it before, I don't remember what I said, but I think I'll say it. He needs to go suck a fucking cock. Because, dude, being as disrespectful as that, I mean, dude. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit for saying that.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. That's not what I.
In a video, I like that he tried to catch himself. Oh, in a video game.
That's not what I said. You dumb or bitch.
and of course, the Leftovers podcast, which was our show, which we made broadly to goof on the antics of the right. Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
There was Ethan Klein being a delightful human being.
I was just gonna say, if there's another Holocaust, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets.
Oh shit.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things. And we went on making the show for about 2 years, and everything was good. Everyone was having fun, the audience was having fun, no problem. That was until this happened. We were doing our regular show, and for the first time I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats, not whatever this was. I don't hate the idea of like people who can be successful. I think it's good that people can achieve success in the term monetary success. I mean, that's what that means, right? I do. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because I see so many people in the chat saying no.
I don't know what y'all are tripping about. Like, what the fuck do you?
What is the idea that
you guys
people are looking for?
You guys are all like radical communists. There's that many radical communists. Suck it, chat.
Oh god.
You're watching a capitalist pig. Deal with it.
Oh good
And
lord.
then this happened. This comment from Hassan really started to sound some alarms in my head.
If you're in a socialist country with multiple parties, and one of the parties is a capitalist party, which would surely exist,
Yeah.
what would you do if that party started gaining momentum?
The solution to that would always be education and offering more
Re-education?
re-education, certainly, yeah. There should be an enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think, like, rehabilitation
That's a serious red flag. Telling people that they need to be re-educated to think a certain way.
which would include re-education as well.
If putting capitalists in re-education camps isn't disturbing enough, I started to notice that Hassan was carrying a lot of water for communist states' war crimes and genocides.
What do you
Yeah.
call Crimea? I call it a part of Russian territory, bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River, a Russian river. The annexation of Crimea is absolutely a justifiable annexation. Tibet was literally a fucking...
What a fucking asshole.
feudal slave mandate, like
So
autonomous zone.
China did them a favor.
That was one. I mean, in America, when I say something like this, people get very upset. You know, we talk
Yeah, because you're telling them that their freedom should be taken away. Their freedom of speech, their freedom of thought. You just want everybody to act like fucking automatons, you fucking bastard. You close-minded fucking fool.
talk about the Dalai Lama saying "suck my tongue" or whatever, but like that's not far from the norm in fucking normal Tibetan existence before the Communist Party came in and took
China
over.
unilaterally took over Tibet,
Like
swept
these are
their culture, They basically are trying to, homogenize the culture.
If your culture,
They're trying to swell the religion and
the part
identity.
of feudal warlords and slavery, abolishing that, yes, I do think that is good.
No, China did them a favor.
This is a good way to describe Taiwan as well. The American federal government going to the fucking south and killing, unfortunately not all of them, but a decent amount of slavers and defenders of slavery. This is violent retribution from a powerful federal government that squashed, okay?
Tibet is the South in the Civil War?
Yes.
And most disturbingly, a complete whitewashing of the Chinese genocide against their Muslim minority group, the Uyghurs.
Really?
Don't they have Uyghur death camps? Is that?
It's not a death camp. It's
I'm looking this up. It's not a death camp. Okay, let's see. Uyghur death camp. There's a wager. Let me go back 5 seconds.
Uyghur death camps? Is that?
I guess that was the Chinese. Okay. Wait, hold on. One more time.
okay.
Tibet is the South in the Civil War?
Yes.
And most disturbingly, a complete whitewashing of the Chinese genocide against their Muslim minority group, the Uyghurs.
Really?
Oh, okay. Never mind. So it was. Okay. I read that wrong. Okay.
They have Uyghur death camps? Is that?
It's not a death camp. They were re-education camps, and they are no longer in operation.
Is that
according
true?
to the Associated Press?
Okay. I saw this
But, yeah,
crazy
they're-
documentary, and I don't know. I don't know I don't know the surrounding narrative or anything about it, but it was about
Yeah, so quick Google search. Since 2014, the government of the People's Republic of China has committed a series of ongoing human rights abuses against Uyghurs and the Turkic Muslim. Okay, hold on, come on. Okay, Muslim minorities in Xinjiang, which has often been criticized as persecution or as genocide. There have been reports of massive arbitrary arrests and detention, torture, mass surveillance, cultural and religious prosecution, family separation, forced labor, sexual violence, and violations of reproductive rights. Jesus.
there was doctors in the area. They would be able to procure organs.
No,
or-
that's no.
I'm telling you, they were in China with.
Dog, okay, that one is like Shen Yun,
They're like, we
Falun
could
Gong.
get you an organ from a Uyghur. But
What?
Is that really that crazy?
The Associated Press quietly fucking wrote an article that didn't get a lot of coverage in mainstream media about how, like, okay, well, all the concentration camps have been closed now. It's like all the re-education camps are closed now in fucking Xinjiang, and it's like very different vibes in Xinjiang. And now, it's the tourism hour.
Let's see what the Associated Press actually
What?
had to say about this. These are all AP articles from the last 2 years. UK independent body reports China committed genocide in Xinjiang. China sanctioned a U.S. research firm and 2 individuals over a report about the human rights violations in Xinjiang.
It's the tourism
Okay.
hour.
To China's fury, UN accuses Beijing of Uyghur rights abuses.
Tourism hour.
Uyghur County in China has
He's calling it tourism hour. Oh my gosh.
is the highest prison rate in the world. 1 in 25 people is in a Chinese prison.
It's the tourism hour.
48 Uyghurs detained in Thailand for almost 11 years are on hunger strike.
That is
to
so
protest their
insane.
imminent deportation to China,
Jesus.
where they face imprisonment or execution. Not only does this AP article seem not to exist, reading the AP proved exactly the opposite. Hassan has happily eaten up the Chinese propaganda on this and has regurgitated it to his mainstream audience. Why is he defending China's genocide of their Muslim population? How does this even make sense? It only makes sense if A, he's being paid, or B, he has the political complexities of a 5-year-old. I know America...
Or it could be both. It could very much well be both.
Bad is a meme that people laugh at online, but with Hassan, this does actually seem to be the beginning and the end of his analysis.
2 principles. Let me explain to you. 2 principles that you should keep with you, coming from a person who's Turkish, okay? When you look at a situation in the Middle East, you look at what the local government is and who the Western forces are. Never align with the Western forces. So when I look at other countries, I look at the regional actor, whoever the regional power player is, and then I look at who is backed by the Western superpowers. That's a principle that you could take home with you. If you want to actually be moral, or if you want to be smart about the way you analyze other countries, that's one basic principle that you can take home with you. All of us.
Or you do the research and you determine whether or not, certain countries need our support. Just saying. I'm always one for help our neighbors, but there are situations in certain countries where no matter how much effort we put in to try to fix the problem, try to assist, sometimes it does feel like an overstep. And to an extent, we are not giving some of these countries the opportunity to help themselves. And try to improve some of the issues that are within their own infrastructure.
Magically, you are above on your foreign policy analysis. You're going to be better off than 90% of people that look at the situation.
After seeing all of this, I was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is. And then, this happened.
Okay.
We have breaking news out of Israel this morning where Hamas has launched a surprise attack within Israel's borders overnight.
After the shock of October 7th, I noticed a huge increase of anti-Semitic comments from Hassan's stream and Discord, including from his head mod. I was disturbed that Hassan was seemingly okay with this.
So I'm going to say this. You can believe me or not. In terms, I'm not either left nor right. I'll try to listen to both arguments to the best of my ability. And ultimately, I'm for life. I'm for, individuals having the opportunity to live. For the most, to some extent, unless I'll be somewhat against issues where it involves people forcing ideals. But overall, I am for the preservation of life. The respect of life. And I'll say with certain countries, in terms of some of their laws or with some of their belief system, I don't approve of it. Now, however, I'm not fully versed, and I will admit that I'm not fully versed in, what's been going on with Israel, Hamas, and so on. But I will say the fighting itself, it's just something that just needs to stop. However it stops, I'm like my thing is I'm hoping that both sides can just cease fighting. And hopefully, in turn, countries like the U.S. don't get involved. Because honestly, let's face it, we don't want the U.S. getting involved. Or any other country, for that matter, getting involved. But overall, it's just some of this bickering, some of this fighting from, people who are, on this side or that side, and so on and so on. It's, at this point, become so tribalistic in nature. that if you do not agree with a certain side, then you ultimately are the enemy. And I have to say, there's a bit of there's a level of ignorance with that kind of thinking.
Like, do you care that your chat is calling you racist? Do you make any attempt to modify?
I have not looked at my chat.
Moderate that at all?
I have not looked at my chat at all. But you
I just opened it. But don't you have moderators? Do you care at all about what your audience says about me?
There's 32,000 people in here right now.
I'm just trying to tell you guys how it feels. And I'm fucking shocked that you don't care that people in your chat are saying, "Who the fuck is this child, cold, arrogant, and this fuck?"
I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
How can you be surprised?
So I'm gonna go back. So I know I keep pausing. Sorry, that's how I react. But I'm gonna go back to saying I'm gonna go and say what I said before in my previous video when I reacted to the doc from June the King. Is that when you are doing a live stream, if you're doing it when you're discussing a topic, and especially with like this situation where Ethan is like, dude, why aren't you moderating your people? You know, telling him to not call me a racist. At the very least, and I have to guess in this situation, HASAN at any point does not condemn the people for doing this. Like I said before, in a lot of my videos, and I'll pull it up again, it's not hard. It can take about a few seconds, just a few seconds of your time, to read a little disclaimer. And heck, I like every video, even if it's in the description, I myself have a little disclaimer, both in my description and sometimes in front of the videos like this, where it reads, "Some of our content varies per video and may not be suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, in some content, we are critical of the video games, books, music, videos, and other creators on the platform. While we are a group-owned channel," and this is just my disclaimer because it's not just me, "our opinions expressed are solely our own and may not always reflect the opinions of those associated with this channel. We at Novakast do not condone any and all harassment, e.g., cyberbullying, doxing, swatting, towards any of the people we may be critical towards." So, to HASAN ignorantly claiming that he can't control people is absolute fucking bullshit. He at any point could go on his live stream and say that I do not approve of this behavior, cut it out. And he could do that. But he basically doesn't do anything about it. Not one bit. Just makes excuses. It does kind of show his level of character, if you ask me.
When your Discord is literally full of fucking...
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do if you're making that argument. You know that, right?
Dude, you literally could just say, "Don't harass Ethan Klein." And then the people that are harassing him, fucking block them.
Like, HASAN's chat had been calling me a Zionist, baby-killing genocider. Maybe it is unreasonable that I'm asking him to moderate his chat for a friend. He doesn't even know where I'm coming from because it's not something he would ever ask for.
And all these other content creators actually, whipping their communities when their chat is going fucking absolutely bananas over random dumb shit and bringing my name up for no fucking reason.
They're bringing up your reason for a very clear reason, dude.
We're just allowing that shit to run.
Bring up your name for a very clear reason.
Rampant in your chat, and I thought that was fucked up.
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much
bullshit.
I can do.
Especially as someone who thought we were fucking friends. I think that's a reasonable expectation for someone who you consider to be a friend.
The problem wasn't that he was pro-Palestinian, because I share a lot of those views, and I've been a stalwart supporter of the Palestinian cause for many years. The problem with HASAN's coverage, and a lot of people like him, was their complete lack of empathy for the Jewish people who were frankly slaughtered by Hamas. He refused to show even a crumb of empathy for the Jewish victims.
But listen to what this guy has to say.
And as you might have seen, there was some sort of rave or desert party where they were having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters. But I'm sure they're doing very fine despite what the New York Post says. But nobody had seen this coming.
I mean, that's insane, right?
I haven't even. Yeah. Okay. Like.
Okay.
He's just like, oh, okay. Like,
I don't just criticizing people.
Like nothing.
You don't have to comment if you're not comfortable about it.
I honestly felt at times that he and his audience barely thought of Israelis as humans.
But this dude just called babies militants.
No, I understand. And there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
Part of running defense for Hamas is downplaying the violence, specifically the sexual violence, which he's done a lot of.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. So,
this guy, you're gonna hear this a lot from me, but this guy's a piece of shit. Again, me personally, I'm for the preservation of life, of freedom of choice, freedom of speech. And to have somebody like this go out of their way and basically claim that, you know, he doesn't care that people are getting, that women are getting sexually assaulted. You know, dude, fuck off. People wonder why his fans wonder why people hate HASAN PIKER when he says shit like this. But I'm sure I'm probably going to get another comment where it's just, you know, somebody calling me a Nazi and not giving any context as to why they think I'm a Nazi. So, whatever.
that's the other part of this problem that many people can't contend with. Like, the Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not, like, so good. They have magical bullets.
That's so stupid. Sorry about... Oh, my God.
The Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not, like, so good.
15 witness, 3 confessions, pattern of naked dead bodies, all the evidence of Hamas. Oh, my God.
They have magical bullets. Is not perfect.
Of course, if you compare the raw numbers, Gazans have lost a lot more than Israelis. 40,000 people have died, and neighborhoods have been completely flattened during this war. And while we should keep their plight at the top of our minds at all time, it also doesn't mean that we should disregard the lives of the Jewish people who are also affected by this.
Yeah.
Even if their suffering on the whole is not as great. Some of you...
They're suffering on both sides, and we shouldn't downplay suffering because we are associated with one group. We really shouldn't.
You may know that I'm an Israeli dual citizen. My wife is Israeli, my kids are half Israeli, and my entire in-law is Israeli. I lived there for 5 years, and I grew a closeness with the country and its people. One of the biggest issues between me, HASAN, and his community was that I'm in favor of a two-state solution, while they are in favor of a one-state solution. Their theory is that after the October 7th attack, Israel should just dissolve its borders and let Hamas enter Israel unrestrained.
What do you think Israel should have done in response to October 7th?
Instead of indiscriminately bombing Gaza, I think the first thing to do in that situation would be to dismantle the government in the way that it existed, like get Netanyahu out of power.
Okay. So you're saying Israel, in response... Hold on, dude. You're saying in response to this terrorist attack, Israel should have dismantled their own government.
First set of actions would be to democratically take Netanyahu out of power. Yes.
The problem is that Israel's been at war with its neighbors for 70 plus years, and it makes a lot of sense that there'd be some distrust there.
Yeah.
Is it really insane to think that Jews, as an ethnic minority in Israel, would not be safe after?
I mean, considering history right now, I mean, to some extent, we did have... okay, you know what, I'm going to say this. Over history, I mean, the Jewish community has been prosecuted time and time again. And it's... I mean, considering, you know, the recent situation, or at least not so recent, but you guys know what I mean, involving a particular radical group that was very close to creating a perfect world for themselves if we didn't kick their asses. Communities like the Jewish community probably would no longer exist due to them. But anyway.
Well, Israel is a country of refugees. If the Jews didn't come from Europe after the Holocaust,
yeah.
they came from the surrounding Arab countries that expelled them in massive amounts following the 1948 war. In fact, there was more Jews displaced than Palestinians during the Nakba. 1 million Jews. All of these surrounding Arab countries had vibrant Jewish communities in huge number, hundreds of thousands. Now, if you look at them, you're looking at close to, if not literally, 0 Jews left in these countries.
Just to give you an idea, here's a visual representation of the Jewish refugees after 1948. Morocco had 265,000 Jews. Now it has 2,000. Algeria had 140,000. Now it has about 50. Iraq had 150,000 Jews.
Oh, damn.
Now 10. And I want to give a special shout out to my boy over in Afghanistan, one known Jew. We know him. We love him. He's the one Afghan Jew.
They were forced to leave their homes, their lives, their property, and migrate to the only place in the world that would accept them, which was Israel. The irony of this whole situation is that after the 1948 war, when Israel won the war to declare its independence, the Arab countries got super anti-Semitic against their own Jewish citizenry that had nothing to do with Israel. And as a result, they kicked them all out, 1 million plus of them, and forced them to go the one place they hated the most, Israel. And now those same people that forced them out of their homes are telling them they don't belong there. So if the Jews of Israel are surrounded by Islamic militant terrorist groups that have stated their goal is to annihilate Israel as a Jewish state, and considering the historical context of Jews,
some of the things that they've gone through,
being pogromed from Arab countries,
is
it really that crazy for them to not feel safe as an ethnic minority, even a little bit?
And that's pretty much the entirety of our disagreement. Despite what you've read on TikTok and Twitter, I've donated $6,500 to a Palestinian charity after the war started.
Hey, Ethan Klein, thank you for the dono. Ethan Klein gave $6,500. My goat. Thank you, Ethan.
Condemned Netanyahu as a war criminal.
They're led by Netanyahu, who should resign in disgrace and go to prison for being a war criminal.
Called the West Bank settlements an abomination.
Settlers in the West Bank are religious zealots. They're monsters. They're genocidal.
I've even said the West Bank settlers are valid military targets.
When you talk about like colonial settlers and stuff, like that's what's actually happening in the West Bank right now. And these people are more or less valid military targets, in my opinion.
My only crime is wanting a two-state solution instead of one, and thinking it's not okay to kill Israeli civilians. That's it. That's why they're calling me a Nazi Zionist. And because of HASAN and others spreading this malicious lie about my beliefs, I'm even getting harassed on the street.
So how come you don't like Palestine?
I like Palestine.
No, you don't.
I mean, what's this guy? Kind of seems like a troll. I mean, Ethan Klein has just made a comment that he's supportive. It seems like with Ethan Klein, he's supportive on both sides. But he's not as radical as everybody else.
Why do you say that?
Because, bro, you're... wasn't she in the IDF?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Mandatory service.
That's sad. That's terrorism, bro.
She was born there.
That's sad. Feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit.
This guy sounds like a dumbass. This guy holding the camera just sounds like a fucking dumbass. Like, seriously. He does.
You look like a rapist, bro. You look like a fucking...
This guy looks and sounds like an ignorant jackass.
Rapist, Ethan. Feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist, bro.
Let me guess. He's a freaking HASAN simp, isn't he? He's an HASAN simp.
Tired of all these coward Americans in the South trying to act like they're so tough. Oh, I'm American. Oh, you don't even run your own country. You don't run your own country, bro.
Which country? You know what? I'll say this. I mean, in terms of, situations involving, the U.S. and so on. I'll say the U.S., it's not perfect. But at the very least, They're not going out of their way to make kids into bombs.
Oh shit! Burn! Burn!
You don't run your own country. A foreign country named Israel runs your country. Oh my God, bro! I love you, Hassan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweet, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sorry.
I love you.
Called it. He's a fucking simp.
Bro, I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're
He's a simp.
Hold on, I think I look gay now. Hold on.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hold on, I think I look gay now. Hold on.
Okay.
The funny thing about me, I don't like terrorism, and I don't like terrorists.
Yeah.
If they're Jews, Christians, Muslims, they're all bad. What
Yeah.
is terrorism? It's intentionally targeting civilian population for political goals.
Exactly.
I don't like it. None of it. And over time, I started to learn that my co-host, he really likes terrorists.
They do musicals. They're very musical people.
That's not a musical, dude. You're fucking high if you believe that's a musical.
Are you being serious? Dog, what do you look? You think I made this? Isn't I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hassan. Taking over
Yeah.
the ships. They started targeting the ships.
People on this helicopter right now?
Yes, they're streaming this. Yeah, they're flexing.
What?
And
Yeah, they're No, they're being fucking terrorists, dude.
But they're coming in hot with guns.
yeah, but you have to understand, this is a deterrent. We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that.
That's so stupid. Like, seriously. That is so fucking stupid, man.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do you like them or no?
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say. But they are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well,
I do not like them then.
He is regarded as a pretty brilliant a person in terms of like everything that he's done.
Then I saw clips like this where Hassan is explaining how he's hiding his power level to funnel in normies into radicalization.
I think that in the short term, in order to combat against that, you have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda. You want America, in the way that I feel about it, and if you want America to get out of the way for places with more revolutionary potential to do what they would normally do, I think that, you know, one thing you have to do is advocate for a lighter form, while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond, you know, social democratic idea.
I just wanted to put emphasis on the exact point of the so-called radicalization funnel, where, for example, Hassan and JT catch them while they're young, as they say, and then they start looking into this new idea, etc., and then move forwards through the funnel, get more and more informed, get more and more radicalized. You do your part in the funnel for the cause, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're doing, in my modest opinion, a great thing for the cause.
Now listen to Hassan during our very first conversation lie to me about how he's a social democrat to hide his power level.
we should move towards a Sweden-style economy or a Norway-style economy, which would be a social democracy.
You have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda.
With robust social safety nets.
Cold radicalization funnel, catch them while they're young, as they say.
And protections for workers, like higher unionization rates.
A lighter form, while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond social democratic ideas.
Hell, he's proclaimed it loudly that he is a self-described propagandist.
So I'm a propagandist.
Well, no.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not calling
I'm
you. I'm just saying. I'm going to play you.
I'm saying I am.
Okay, well then
I'm saying I am.
I just
before
want to
you even play it.
A propagandist is much more than someone with a bias. It's someone who knowingly lies to further their political agenda.
Exactly.
And then I had a terrifying vision. Had I been duped? Was Hassan presenting a Trojan horse to my community, where he was just a left-leaning Democrat like myself, and as he said in the previous video, was funneling them into radicalization and turning them against me?
Liberals are some of the easiest
Seems like it.
people on the fucking planet, dude.
I learned how much he hates liberals.
Dude, I hate liberals, dude. I hate them. I hate them so viciously.
Did he secretly despise me this whole time?
I'm sorry, dude. I hate liberals so much.
Did this man sit next to me for 2 years and pretend to be my friend?
Dude, liberals are a burden on this planet, dude.
Liberals are the most, scummy, vile, fucking idiots. Liberals are incredibly stupid. I hate these petulant liberals, dumb fucking liberals.
What else is someone this sociopathic capable of?
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the fucking planet, dude.
Good
Was
lord.
I being manipulated this whole time?
That was my fear anyway. Regardless of his true beliefs, that broke my trust in him
and I pretty much ended the show immediately. And
As you should, with somebody being as displaying a lot of red flags like that.
I felt guilty for my participation in mainstreaming HASAN, and for that, I apologize. I should have done more research, and I should have looked more deeply into who I was getting in bed with before they gave me chlamydia. Sorry, Hila. Over the past year since the show ended, I continue to watch HASAN platform, promote, and propagandize terrorist organizations. And every time it happened on Twitch, I would say, man, this time surely he went too far, and someone's got to do something. But as the time went on, nothing happened, and his views got more and more radical and more disturbing. I feel it's my obligation,
yeah, it's so crazy,
after mainstreaming someone like HASAN, to take this on. And so it was war. Nuclear war.
I stand before you following the footsteps of intellectual giants.
One thing
as
we've been hearing
nothing
for weeks.
but a simple man.
Now,
a simple
Lord.
man who understands right from wrong.
Yeah.
You're an
sometimes that's all that
influential
matters.
voice to a lot of people.
I'm an idiot, I'm a dumb bimbo, I don't know what I'm talking about.
And there are some things
I've gotten numb to it, basically, like it's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out because I make content out of it. I think it's funny and fun.
And there are baby settlers as well.
Oh, Jesus.
Meanwhile, at Twitch HQ, the marketing team is strategizing on a new advertising vertical.
My friends at Twitch headquarters, the executives, the influencers, HASAN, nice to see you, Frogan, front row. I am here to present to you an extraordinarily exciting opportunity. We have not tapped this market yet. Now, don't panic, okay? Because you're going to want to panic when I tell you, but listen and learn. Who's billions of dollars, eager to spend it? And what, people are too cowardly to reach out and take the money?
Not us.
Oh, good Lord.
Terrorism. Twitch is perfect. You could broadcast it straight into the veins of 18 to 35-year-old men. So here's what I'm suggesting. HASAN PIKER. Yeah, we'll get drinks after the show. No, you. He's such a great guy. No, you. Give it up for HASAN PIKER.
I gotta say that so far, the quality of this has been really good so far.
Buddy. Happy birthday, buddy. This dude can package anti-Semitism and anti-Americanism like nobody else. In fact, you guys got him on the front page. And he's doing terrorism for free. Basically, gentlemen and gentle ladies, Frogan, you look good today, girl.
Babe?
Girl, you look good. Great job on that Arab tier list. That was good. How much we get for that? Yo, you got 10 million from Qatar for that? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Twitch! Here's the thing. With help from people like HASAN, terrorism is like in the eyes of the beholder, right? They're not terrorists. They're... Go ahead. Go ahead. He knows. Freedom fighters, guys. We are fighting for freedom. What about the rapes and the murders? Don't mention that. What's wrong with you? And another one. The resistance isn't
not
perfect. Right? You gotta crack some eggs, man. HASAN, you know Socialism didn't buy you that car.
Good Lord.
If I knew that this is what communism would be in 2024, I wouldn't have bothered with this shit. Really. Of course, is he symbol of the capitalist excess? What the fuck is he thinking? You guys actually believe this idiot is a socialist? Forget her religion. HASAN is the opiate of the masses. Straight to the gulag for anyone soft to this idiot.
Oh, good Lord.
Or that designer dog.
This breed's stunning fluffy coat comes with a price. Chow chows shed
fuck
all
no.
year.
Very cute, by the way. But those are expensive. The point is, we have the biggest political streamer on our platform that is influencing media and influencing young kids everywhere. If we can normalize terrorism.
Yeah, because, reading this, God is the greatest, death to America, death to Israel, curse upon the Jews, victory to Islam. Yeah, I like, for the life of me, I can't, I don't understand why people think that, some of these groups are bad. Like, for the Hoof, like, how are they bad? I mean, I don't know. Like, oh, wait. Maybe it's our slogan. Nah, it could be it. Again, anybody who defends people like this, I mean, it's clear your morality. It clearly shows us your morality when it comes down to trying to defend these kinds of people. and justifying them.
If we could rebrand it, then fuck the U.S. Navy. You know how much those guys don't pay shit. You see the Army ads on Twitch? The Army is fucking broke, dude. I'll tell you who loves America more than the Army. Qatar. Well, I don't know if love's the right word, but they're paying more. Good CPMs coming out of Qatar. Well, you kids love anime, right? Can't get enough of it. I mean, look at what we've already done with HASAN. You're the fucking man, dude. Happy birthday again, man. No, we got a big party for you after. No, don't do it. Let's wait, because we got a big party and a cake and everything for you after in the back. Prostitutes, too. Don't tell anyone. That's a part of the past. Look what we've done already. This Houthi pirate. I mean, who are you kidding? This guy's a fucking terrorist. He literally tweeting out he wants to kill Jews and put their heads on pikes. And somehow, not somehow, because of his genius, we have rebranded the Houthi fucking pirates, the Houthi terrorist organization. Yeah, the Islamic fundamentalists. Death to America, curse upon the Jews. That's right. That's the Jolly Roger of this man here. None other than Monkey D. Luffy. So let's get out there, guys. And let's make 2025 our biggest year, guys. Come on, guys.
HASAN making that comparison just makes him look so ignorant. It really does.
The resistance isn't perfect. The resistance isn't perfect. Yeah, let's get them. If you want to know where on the political spectrum HASAN sits, take a look at a recent media analysis by Ad Fonte, which rated HASAN as the most extreme left-wing, untrustworthy media source on the internet.
Yeah.
But to give you an idea, he is opposite of InfoWars. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that HASAN loves all terrorists, but what I will say is that there isn't many he don't like. Let's start with our good friend Luffy here and his organization, the Houthis.
And yes, this is what it looks like. They are hiling Hitler.
The Houthis are an Islamic military.
Oh, and, you know, that's actually really funny. You know, going back to the comment that we had earlier. Oh, like, people that don't like HASAN are Nazis. Like, dude, they're literally doing the Nazi salute. Oh, Elon Musk is doing the Nazi salute. No, he's fucking autistic. He does weird actions. That right here, this man in the blue, it looks like a blue vest. I mean, it doesn't look blue on for you guys, but for me it looks blue. This guy right behind Ethan, that guy's doing a Nazi salute. These guys would probably be the equivalent of fucking Nazis. And you guys, and some of you support him. Support these people. Y'all should be ashamed.
They're known for their cruel measures, forcibly recruiting child soldiers, shelling...
Okay, I'm gonna say this too. This isn't okay. Like, the fact that one of my biggest, especially like in the Middle East, one of my biggest things that I've absolutely fucking hated about these groups is the fact that they would forcefully recruit kids into their ranks, either as a gunman or by turning them into a freaking an IED. Now, for those who don't know what an IED is, that's an improvised explosive device. It's the fact that, you know, some of these communities would stoop so low to try to win is so fucking disgusting. It really is.
Civilian areas and blocking food from entering already famine-ruined parts of Yemen. They've also set up landmines in agricultural spots, making the fields virtually worthless. Women have virtually no rights, and homosexuality, of course, is punishable by death.
They throw people off buildings.
Values. Now, just how little rights do women in the Houthis Yemen have? Well, according to this, there's been 1,181 violations committed by Houthi rebels against women, including torture, rape, and murder. So, not great. The Houthis have a very wholesome flag, as you can see here. It says, translated, Allah Akbar, death to America, death to Israel, and a curse upon the Jews. And that's all of them, not just the ones in Israel. And of course, victory to Islam. I get amused when these terrorists are like, we hate Jews. We want to kill Jews. And then people like HASAN are like, you're fucking racist for saying that they just want to kill Jews and that they're terrorists, man.
What you meant to say is Hezbollah is Muslim.
You're not.
No. We're not saying Hezbollah is Muslim. We're saying Hezbollah is fucking terrorists.
Thinking deep enough about this topic.
My criticism of the Houthis' slogan do not factor into what they are doing. Of course, it is.
That's exactly what they're doing. That's what they believe. If you think different than that, then you're an idiot.
Anti-Semitic, but contextualizing it matters. Yeah.
Either that or you're for what they're doing. In which case, you're just as bad.
It's really interesting because, like, that is such Western-focused propaganda. Like, for a Palestinian to arrive at anti-Semitic opinions, okay?
Like, it's like, so he's trying, like, dude, how do they come to that conclusion? Oh, I don't know. Maybe literally the fact that it says, death to Israel, curse the Jews. You fucking moron.
They don't need to read Mein Kampf.
Oh, I almost forgot the most fun one. They brought back slavery.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
That lines up with...
Okay, I know... I've watched a little bit of One Piece. I don't think there's ever been any, slavery, murder, or, fucking, sexual assault in that show. Or Leafy ever committing to that, so Hasan's an idiot.
Leftist values. All right, so these guys are clearly the bad guys. So my question is, how does Hasan cover such a genocidal, violent, misogynistic, homophobic,
he promotes them
organization? Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical? Sure. These were the people to the south.
It's not even a fucking musical, dude. I watch musical. I'm offended that he's calling it a musical. I watch musicals.
Saudis were killing, by the way, just so you know. These fucking musically gifted individuals.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to
I'm gonna grab my food.
I'm so confused. What is
this is...
والمعالي واسألوا عنا الحشود العسكري يوم سيطرنا على الخطر بآلي ما نبالي بالهضر والمدفعية
That's right, my friend. Hasan just played straight-up terrorist propaganda without even being there to analyze it. Surely this must be against terms of service. Twitch does not allow content that depicts, glorifies, encourages, or supports terrorism or violent extremist actor. For example... displaying or linking terrorist or extremist propaganda even for the purpose of denouncing such content. Denouncing? Okay, but what's the rule for endorsing it? Is that okay? The answer...
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's just endorsing this.
...is yes, as Hasan was never punished for this blatant violation of Twitch.
He should have.
Guidelines. Got it. So denouncing terrorism is bad. Don't do that. Endorsing terrorism is good. Okay, got it, Twitch.
This dude's like seriously sick in the head. So I can say to an extent, I mean, watching a lot of this stuff, I mean, I already had an idea from the June the King thing, but all in all, I mean, I keep saying it, but it's very clear this guy's motivations, this guy's like where his mentality is, and how he rationalizes things. But good lord, and I got like another like hour and 10 minutes of this video, so for now I'm gonna come back to this. I kind of want to do this in parts because I don't want to spend all of my time doing this in one sitting. So we'll be coming back to this at a later date. And I think down the line I do want to take all the videos and kind of put them together into one reaction down the line. But for now, this is how I'm going to do it. So, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below. As well as check out our daily content in the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. And I'll see you guys next video.
you